What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? It's your boy Domuto. We back with another video today watching Beyond Dragon Ball Super Ultra Beerus versus Ultra Ligor shocking finale. The unknown dark gods emerge. We got more gods. Oh. Shout out to UnrealEntGaming for this video. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1,500 by the end of the year, and let's go.
As our story now continues, following the initial battle involving Universe 20's God of Destruction, Ultra Ligor having to battle against Universe 7's God of Destruction, Ultra Beerus, as with both destroyers having to lay everything on the line and simply having to find out as to which destroyer between them is in fact the stronger God of Destruction, was when Goku went on to then chime back in, "Hey, so what do you think, Vegeta? Since Lord Beerus still appears to want to keep going out there against Lord Ligor, how long do you think that this is going to continue to go before one of them emerges as the winner of this battle?" With Vegeta responding, "Well, it's hard for us to say for sure, especially with Lord Beerus having reached the heights of power that he recently did alongside with Gohan and Broly, but what's even more notable is how both you and I are dead last when compared to what it was that we had seen and experienced here today. And so that much should be more than alarming to you, especially if we hope to catch up and surpass them. And so for all it's worth, we should go and take notice of what we've seen and the battles that we have experienced," Vegeta continues, "because if anything, this is very telling of where we stand, and if we wish to go and catch up in order for us to compete against the likes of any of them, especially against both of these gods of destruction out there, then as soon as we go and get back into our world, we must start training immediately, Kakarot." With Goku responding, "Well, you're not really wrong here, because that's actually the first thing that I also intend on doing once we get back, but man, even despite Lord Beerus being as strong as he currently is, seeing him struggle out there against Lord Ligor like this has really gotten me worried out there for him." To which it was only interestingly enough within that moment as Ligor was then shown having to grab onto Beerus' arm before shown having to slam his body down onto the ground, was when Ligor then went on to respond, "Now you listen here, God of Destruction, for you may have endured what I have delivered onto you thus far, but you and I both know that you will not go as far as to outlast me for much longer here, God of Destruction. And while I doubt that even with your heart and body will it hold out here against my onslaught for much longer," Ligor continues, "I ask you again to consider your position here against me, for you will not win, which is why it is best for you just to stay
can't get a hit out.
For you can already see that despite what it is that you do, and no matter how hard you attempt to fight here against me," Ligor continues upon being shown having to throw Beerus on over into the distance, "you will only manage to go and take yourself so far here against me, which is why it would be wise for you just to go and give up now before this continues to grow worse for you, God of Destruction. Oh, I will never go and give into this battle, especially if I've already gotten this far here against you," Beerus went on to then stick his arm out by responding, "and so, while I grow very annoyed at the fact that I can't seem to break through your guard, maybe if I go and start to erase certain body parts from you, will it only go as far as to favor me in this battle." But then, it was only just before Beerus had the opportunity to go as far as to Hakai any one of Ligor's limbs was when Ligor went on to then shoot projections from his eyes by responding, "As if I would be foolish enough to allow for you to go and remove any one of my body parts in the time for you to go and try to gain any sort of leverage here against me would be a mistake." Whoa, wait, was Lord Beerus really just about to go and Hakai one of Lord Ligor's body parts just to go and gain leverage against him in this battle out there, Goku questions, with Whis responding, "Well, knowing Lord Beerus, it really wouldn't go as far as to surprise me in seeing him having to go and do what he needs to do in order to lay claim over his opponent during a battle, and as you should go as far as to know firsthand better than anyone for yourself, Goku, but it would only appear as though with how fast Lord Ligor appears to be responding out there in battle against Lord Beerus, I fear that it'll only continue to get worse for Lord Beerus out there.
Get worse, Beerus. It's alright. Ligor just him."
Methods of battle, Whis continues, "Well then the beating will only continue to grow worse for him, I'm afraid," with Gohan responding, "So, do you think that is because of how much power Lord Beerus had to be shown exerting just to simply stand a chance against him, Whis? Because it almost looks like Lord Beerus is doing what he had went and done against me when I went and first had to battle him, and so, do you think that maybe perhaps this is because he's completely worn out there against him?" With Whis responding, "Well, what I will say is that it's more than likely that he has, but Lord Beerus is starting to give into his anger out there against Lord Ligor rather than having to remain calm, and that is simply because if you go and take a little closer look and seeing as to how Lord Ligor is going about this battle, then you will go as far as to see that he appears to be doing exactly as Lord Beerus ought to be shown having to do out there against him, but I'm also sure that since Lord Beerus is more than likely feeling the effects of this battle out here against Lord Ligor, could it only go as far as to explain as to why he is starting to lose his composure out there against him, with Ligor being shown having to look down at Beerus by responding, and so now give it up, Destroyer, for I do not wish to continue to go and harm you any more than I need to in order to make you walk away, and so now what's it going to be? And as the choice itself should be more than obvious to you by now on what it is that you should go and do.
Sorry,
as
shit,
Beerus
Beerus,
turn
damn.
his head by then firing off a blast and
Now, Rhino
responding,
disrespected you,
over
though.
my dead body I will, God of Destruction, for you may have gotten the better of me now, but just like you had pointed out to me earlier, you should go and take your own advice and not assume victory until you've truly beaten me, which you won't, Destroyer. And while I know there must be something that I can do in order to create the opening that I need to finally put you where you rightfully belong, Beerus continues, I'm not going to stop looking for it until I've made sure to see you crumble beneath my feet as a result of it. And if that means having to go and hit you with everything that I have over and over and over and over again, then that is exactly what I'm going to go and do, Beerus went on to then formulate a massive sphere of destruction above him, and no matter how powerful you are and no matter how durable that body of yours is, you will not be strong enough to endure much more of these, even if you try to go and rip them apart again, because if you do, then I'll just go and continue to launch more and more of these down upon you until you are no longer able to continue, Destroyer. But then, it was shockingly enough through the smoke as Ligor went on to formulate 3 gigantic spheres of destruction above his head, only calling them different in the meantime, was when Ligor then went on to quickly respond, then if this is how you wish to go about this battle here against me, then allow for me to go and respond in kind, God of Destruction.
Okay.
For I will go and make sure that my Terra Force attack humbles you after tearing through your sphere of destruction. Oh,
You got 3 of them hoes,
Beerus responds
dude.
upon being shown throwing his sphere directly at Ligor. But if you insist,
He ripped your shit
then
last
let us
time.
go and find out if they can. For this battle ends right now, as I will go and put you in your place and establish myself as proving to you on why I am the strongest God of Destruction among them all. Then so be it, God of Destruction. Ligor then went on to fire his attacks directly at Beerus's. Then so now I want you to watch as even your best attempts against me prove to have been meaningless. To which, as both collisions were then shown having to happen, it would only now appear as though it is Beerus who is the one that is struggling in maintaining this battle against Ligor, as Beerus went on to then struggle by responding, oh, you've got to be joking. And the amount of force that he's driving into my attack, I'm unable to do anything to go and push those blasts of his back. I just can't allow for this to be on how this is all going to end, because I might be losing ground, but my spirit is far from broken. And as I have seen what the abyss is like when you stare directly into it, and if I wasn't scared of what I came face to face with then, God of Destruction, then you can
talk
go
your
and
shit,
think twice
Beerus.
if you think that I'll be scared of this one too, Beerus continues. So, while I have the strength to hold you here at bay, you will have to go as far as to destroy me if you ever hope to see me submit to another God of Destruction, Lord Ligor. And so as long as I remain in this battle here against you, this battle
Oh,
here
wow,
is
Ligor just didn't
far
knock him out.
from over. Do you understand? With Ligor responding, interesting, for even when faced against such overwhelming might, you still refuse to stand down here against me. How truly fascinating. A noble act, Lord Beerus, but what you fail to understand is that our fight here between us is already over. To which it was only in a shocking fashion as Ligor's attacks went on to combine within themselves and completely having to overtake and swallow up Beerus' sphere of destruction was when Vegeta went on to then respond, what? So, but this is just unbelievable. For not only was that destroyer able to completely shatter through Lord Beerus' attack, but they've also went as far as to combine within themselves all into one massive attack too. Oh, damn him. Beerus responds upon being shown putting his guard up. I was too careful careless to have allowed for him to get this far here against me, but even now, I won't let this be on how I will be remembered against him, for I just have to continue to try no matter what. To which it was only seconds later, with a gigantic nuclear explosion then shown having to take place in nearly swallowing up the entire planet, was when Goku went on to then chime back in. Hold on, you guys, because I don't think that this is going to end very well for us if we aren't careful. Whis, do you think that Lord Beerus is going to be okay? With Whis then responding, well, while the intensity of that attack is indeed alarming, and while Lord Beerus is undoubtedly in a very critical situation and having no other choice than to go and take those attacks head on the way he did, and I must go as far as to say that the nature of this overall battle was even something that I couldn't fully foresee, and as the power which Lord Ligor had wielded to overtake Lord Beerus' attack was not only a very calculated one, but it was also a very rigorous one on top of it all, which does raise a lot of concern here. However, and I can't help but feel as though Lord Ligor is surgically applying pressure and knowing exactly how much power to exert here against Lord Beerus, while also going as far as to hold back just enough power in having to avoid completely destroying Lord Beerus along the way. And as I will admit that it is a style that may be proving to push Lord Beerus to his absolute limits, and if anything based on what I'm seeing come from him, then I do firmly believe that it would be safe to say that Lord Ligor's restraints could even be more dangerous than his raw power itself, in ultimately having his strategy reveal a much deeper understanding of both Lord Beerus' strengths and vulnerabilities, which could also explain as to why Lord Ligor was able to push past them, it seems. And so while I don't believe that Lord Beerus had been destroyed throughout this entire contest, Whis continues, and I do however fear that this contest between them just in fact might be over, but we will wait and see. But then, it was only just within that very moment as Ultra Beerus was then shown having to emerge the smoke that was surrounding him and having to be shown extremely battle damaged, was when Ultra Beerus went on to then respond, that was far more than I had originally expected for it to be, but in the end, while my body feels as though it's about to break down on me, and while the pain that I feel coursing throughout my body is one of the most painful that I have ever felt, when this is all said and done, it was as I had told you prior, for I still stand, as I would rather endure every ounce of agony that I feel now than to ever go and submit myself to another god of destruction ever again, Beerus continues. And if that means that I'll be going down despite my efforts here against you, then I'll fight by using every shred of power that I have left to go and make sure that I go and take a piece of you with me, god of destruction. And so now go ahead. Don't be afraid of what you see. Go ahead and hit me with everything you have, and let's see if you can go and finish the job, Destroyer. For if this battle against you is destined to be my last, then so be it. But I will not surrender, for that time of having me go and do so is over, Beerus went on to then crash on down by responding. And so now go ahead. What's holding you back?
Holding you back.
Do it. Come at me and let's see what you're made of. Let's see if you really have what it takes to go and make the right call. Oh, damn him. My body doesn't have the strength to go and hold myself together here, for he has went and completely wore me down. Oh, I wasn't ready for another god of destruction to wield a higher level of power while harboring a similar form like this. For if I only had known prior, then I could have went and been ready to have faced him, even if he went and amalgamated his powers like I have. And so I must go and try to find another way here. You know, at first I couldn't quite understand on why you wouldn't go and take my offer, Ligor went on to then respond, and especially despite me having to be shown giving you multiple opportunities to go and walk away. But I can now start to see as to why that is, and while it doesn't come as a surprise to me that you'd rather die than submit yourself here against me in this battle, in the end I just want you to go and know know that it was you, Lord Beerus, who had left me with no other choice than to go and do what I needed to go and do here, Ligor says. For I didn't go and expect to have things turn out the way they did, and while I kept telling you that I did not wish to inflict further harm upon you, you instead went and ignored my concerns and proceeded to continue anyways, and because of your actions, you have now forced my hand into doing what I did not imagine that I would have to go and do here against you, God of Destruction. For you had went and left me with no other choice here, and as such, Ligor says, I instead hereby offer you my hand in the name of upholding our honor, for this battle is yours, Lord Beerus. You win, Ligor says. For this battle has shown me everything that I needed to go and know about you, and I have no desire to turn this into a death match, and so in the end, I yield this victory over to you, not because you are weak, Ligor continues, but because I respect the fight that you have given me, and so let this mark the end of our conflict, as I hereby offer you my hand as a sign of my respect, with the shocked Beerus having to then respond, What? But I don't understand, because while it's clear to us both that you stand as the stronger God of Destruction between us, why would you go and instead yield to me like this? What do you stand to gain by not finishing me off, but instead grant me victory over you like this? Well, the answer is simple, Ligor responds, for I had promised myself that I would go and put an end to this contest once I had witnessed the full extent of your amalgamated power, and now shocked Vegeta and Goku then went on to quickly respond, He's giving the fight over to Lord Beerus out of respect for him?
Out of respect, because he
knew that the only other way that he was going to get Lord Beerus to back down here against him was if he was willing to go all out and destroy him along the way. Yeah, I think you're right, Vegeta, and since it didn't look like that was what Lord Ligor wanted to go and do, even though he was stronger than Lord Beerus, Goku says, he still went ahead and decided to go and yield to him by giving him the fight rather than destroying him as a result of it. To which it was only just upon with Beerus being shown having to be helped up by Ligor as both of them went on to then shake hands was when Beerus then went on to respond, You know, while yielding a victory to me out of respect was something that I wouldn't have anticipated to come from such a powerful and fearsome destroyer such as yourself, and I will go as far as to acknowledge that you had me beat, but while I respect you for the decision that you have made here against me, Beerus says, and I don't intend to let this defeat, despite you yielding this battle within my favor, stand without challenging it again for next time, and I in fact intend to meet you with an even greater force that'll turn the tables within my favor, God of Destruction. That much I can promise. With Ligor responding, well, be that as it may, I will be more than honored to battle here against you again one day, Lord Beerus, as I am not only happy to call you an ally for whatever the future has in store for us, but I am hereby also proud to call you our friend. And while there is nothing left here for neither you or your mortal warriors to prove here against myself and Lord Tigron, Ligor continues, what do you say we go and take this time to heal our bodies and talk things over, so that way you may all gain a better understanding of what we know, Lord Beerus, with Beerus being shown having to shake Ligor's hand by responding, well, very well then, God of Destruction, but I want you to go and fill us all in with everything that the two of you were made aware of, and nothing less. So would you both agree? With Ligor responding, well, from one ally to another, you have my word that we will go and do just that, Lord Beerus, as a little while later, after everyone was then shown having to be finally healed, it was only just before everyone was then shown having to go and take their leave was when Beerus went on to then chime back in by responding, well, now that everything here has been settled, and since we now understand as to what it was that we wanted to know, it's time for us to all go home, Whis, with Ligor responding, well, very well then, for it shall be, and while each of you head back into your own respective worlds, let us go and bid our farewell for now. And so thank you for standing alongside me and for assisting me and helping me get down to the bottom of what it was that we had suspected, Lord Tigron, Ligor says, and as I also expect for our training to resume in the coming days, and so that way we may go and continue to hone our powers for whatever may lie in store for us in the future. And so because of everything, thank you for standing with me, with Tigron responding, and I look forward to our battle, for I couldn't have asked for a more noble god to stand alongside with than you, Lord Ligor.
Okay,
As I
Lord
will go and
Ligor.
make sure to be back here and resume as to where we had left off in a few days. As Beerus went on to then shake Tigron's hand by then responding, "You are indeed quite the powerhouse, and to witness your power for myself along with seeing how you were able to control your destruction with such precision, it was an honor to have stood alongside you, Lord Tigron," with Tigron being shown shaking Beerus's hand back by responding, "And I second that with you, for the feeling is mutual here between us, Lord Beerus. For it was my honor, as I will be seeing both you and the other destroyers very soon." As Goku then went on to quickly interrupt by responding, "Hey, so, I hope that there aren't any hard feelings here between us, Lord Tigron." Goku went on to then wave by responding, "And I do really hope that you know that our intentions by having to fight against you were all for the best, and so we hope that you'll understand and we'll see each other again really soon one day," with Tigron responding, "Well, I know that you mortals had went and meant good by waging your battle here against me, and so I do not hold anything personal against the two of you, but I do want you both to know this. For the next time that we go and meet, and we will all come to meet again one day, the two of you better be ready for another battle here against me, because one way or another, no matter how it's done or which one of you it'll be, and I do indeed intend to fight you once again, for you two are special to say the least, and so I do hope that for your sake you go and follow
some nice
through with your
ass
promise for the
God
next
of Destruction,
time
so
we
I don't know
meet,
if I like it.
Saiyans, for it was an
I don't
honor
even
to
know if I like
face
it, but
you,
I
and
love
so
it.
until we meet again soon, as
Soft
Ligor
ass
went on to
niggas,
then
I don't
chime
know.
back in, well, if there's one thing that I will say that I am fairly certain about, it's that this will not be the last time that the two of you will have the chance in seeing us again, Ligor says, as I'm sure that Lord Tigron also shares a similar opinion on you as well, for there will come a time where I'm sure that we will all be called together once again one day, but for now, while we go and wait for that time to come, there is still much that needs to be done along the way, Ligor continues, for there are many changes that need to be made and many obstacles that need to be completed, but while you work on these things that call for your improvement, and I have no doubt that I will be expecting to see you all grow into becoming far more powerful than how you are now, and while the cosmos beyond our own is but a vast and unpredictable place that is filled with challenges that none of us can foresee, as we go and part ways for now, I cannot say for certain on what the future may hold for any of us along the way, but if there is one thing that I do know, Ligor continues, it's that no matter what lies ahead and no matter how dire or insurmountable it may seem, and I am confident that we will rise above the fire in order for us to go and meet it, for your universe has been forged by warriors who understand the meaning of struggle, and after seeing the fruits of your training for myself along with witnessing the two of you bear the power of the gods for yourselves, I am more than reassured that we will not fall along the way. But it was only interestingly enough all the while in the meantime elsewhere within a very faraway place was where a mysterious and sinister group of unknown gods of destruction happened to have been overseeing the entirety of what was shown taking place, as one of these gods of destruction that went by the name of Arachnivore went on to then respond, "So, the two newly appointed gods of destruction have already been alerted to our existence now, have they? Interesting, and with those mortal vermin from the 7th now also catching on as to what those destroyers have learned from their angels, we cannot go and run the risk of having our objectives be compromised if they begin to expand their curiosity further, but even now, I cannot wait to go and sink my teeth into their flesh and draw upon their blood until there is nothing left of them, for I can almost even go as far as to taste it, but even now, after going as far as to see what we just saw, those three destroyers, the one who govern Universe 7, Universe 19, and Universe 20, who just so happen to go by Beerus, Tigron, and Ligor, are the ones to mostly watch out for, Arachnivore continues, and while those recently resurrected gods of destruction are also ones to pay very close attention to, we should have no problem in going as far as to take them all down as well, as another mysterious god of destruction that went by the name of Turlon went on to then respond, "I agree, and so you can go as far as to leave more of the bigger destroyers such as Primos, Reno, and Grizzlor for me and Triceros to go and take care of in the meantime, and so that to us won't be much of a problem," as another god of destruction that went by the name of Megalodon went on to then respond, "Well, even if they somehow know of our existence, I doubt that they will be able to find a way to go and take action, especially if they don't know as to where we all currently are, and so that gives us time. Yes, and time is something that they do not have at the moment, but what say you, Kano? Arachnivore then went on to respond, as Kano went on to then chime in. Well, I say we just go and descend upon them all now and tear them all apart while they're vulnerable, and while we can go and start by shredding those mortal warriors as a warm-up, I call by getting my hands on Universe 7's destroyer Beerus first. And so you can go and leave him all for me while the rest of you go and handle the other gods in the meantime, as the destroyer Megalodor went on to reveal himself by responding, hold steady, my brethrens, for there is no need for us to rush, and so let them go and celebrate these final moments of their fragile peace while they still can, for we will remain patient in lurking within the shadows and observing, learning, and absorbing the knowledge of their weaknesses as they blissfully remain completely unaware of what lies ahead. For we are a force which has been forged in silence, and even if they suspect of our existence to be true, then we will go and allow for them to wonder until we are given the order once the great king goes and gives us his word, Megalodor continues, as only then will we go and descend upon them like an endless darkness that
what the
no
fuck is
light,
going
no
on?
how bright can
I'm trying to listen to what's going on.
And so while we watch from across the Omniverse, let them think that they are safe while they still can, for the great king's command will be our signal, and so in the meantime, just relax, for soon enough it'll be our time to play, as it was only right then and there now during that moment where the Beyond Dragon Ball Super story of the resurrected fallen gods of destruction, the legendary god saga manga chapter number 9.
All right, I'll probably dozing off and through the story. Don't blame. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was just tired in the bitch, but at the end I kind of woke up. But shout out to UnrealEntGaming for this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you check out the last chapter right here. I can't wait to see the next shit right here, man. I don't know what's about to go on. That shit crazy. Anyway, and check out my other videos right here. Right here. And I'll catch y'all next time, man. Peace.